Hello, it's me, Christy. So you may have noticed that I haven't posted any Vlogmas videos yet. That is not for lack of trying. I did for like 3 days try and film, but I only felt like filming when I was like doing homework, and then all I got was just like time lapses of me doing homework, and it looked terrible. I mean, it didn't look terrible, it just wasn't interesting. And then like I would get excited about getting 100 on my quiz for the week, and that was like the peak of the vlog, you know? Guys, I got 100% on my test. 100%. Let me show you. As you can see here, I got a 50 out of 50. 50 out of 50. Yeah. So I'm thinking, instead of vlogging, I'm just gonna randomly release a couple of videos throughout Vlogmas, and this will be the first. So today I'm thinking about doing my favorite books of 2022, which is very on brand for me, so there's that. I'm going to take a look at my Goodreads to see what I originally was gonna just like pick it off the shelf and like look at it and see. But I realized I genuinely have no idea what books I read this year. I know which of these I've read, but this year could have also been last year, and last year could have been this year, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna look at my Goodreads, see what books I actually did read this year, and then tell you my favorites. And that's the whole video. Okay, so this is in no particular order, but first off, I'm gonna go with the library book, which I read at the beginning of the year. Genuinely felt like I read this like years ago, but this was a really solid read. I really like journalistic nonfiction, if that's a genre. That's what I like. And this is based on the Los Angeles Public Library fire in 1986, which you may not remember because it happened around the same time that Chernobyl happened. But the Los Angeles Public Library, if I'm not mistaken, was the largest library in the United States at the time, and they were doing like super progressive things with their library programs and stuff like that. And then the fire happened, and it destroyed or damaged more than 1 million books. This book kind of goes into the workings of the library, number one. Number two, goes into the events leading up to and after the fire, the disruption, the chaos, the works. And then it also goes into the investigation that followed it and the suspects that they had. They only really had one true suspect, but to this day we don't even know if he actually did it. We kind of get a deep dive into his life and like his accounts of what happened that day, all of that. He is now dead, but what I really enjoyed about it was that it gives you like a full view of the events. I really enjoyed just learning about the library, but then also learning about the guy and how the author doesn't really push you in any direction, because it's like really not known if that suspect started the fire or if it was just that the library just like really wasn't up to code, you know? So that's number one. Yeah, number one. White Tears, Brown Scars. You guys have heard me talk about this book. This is intersectional feminism, the works, how white feminism betrays women of color. Really, really loved this book. And what I really loved about it was that it did not pull its punches. Like, it said exactly what it was thinking. She did not pull punches, which I find that is often the case in these kinds of books, where it's like we don't want to offend too much. I don't know if that's what you guys think, but that's what I feel like sometimes happens, is where we're trying to like inform, but we don't want to offend while we're doing so. This is just like, it goes for it, and I loved that. Highly recommend this. I think you guys have heard me talk about this before. So first I read The Song of Achilles, which doesn't necessarily make it in my favorites. I did really enjoy it, but I don't think it makes it into the favorites, but it is what led me to this book, which does, Circe. I super enjoyed this book, and it made me reread Percy Jackson because of all the Greek god mentions and everything. It follows Circe, who is on a island, banished, and basically just all of the famous figures from history visit her on the island, and her story is told. We get to hear her side of the story more so. Yeah, so we get to hear her side of the story, which history doesn't often tell. I found it super interesting, even though it's only on the deserted island for the majority of the time. Like, I had such a good time just in the world and experiencing Circe. So I really enjoyed this book, and once again, it did make me start reading Percy Jackson again, which another one of my favorites is the fourth Heroes of Olympus book in the Percy Jackson universe. It's The House of Hades. So there are 5 books in that series, and The House of Hades is by far my favorite. Like, that series was good, but that book was great. It like follows, so Heroes of Olympus follows the 2 different camps. So we have the Roman camp and the Greek camp. Camp Half-Blood is Greek camp. Camp Jupiter is the Roman camp. They never knew that each other existed. They're all demigods though. And they have to unite, but they're like bitter enemies, so it's like a whole thing there. So we get a whole new like cast of characters. It's super, super interesting. I'm not gonna take it out of the bookshelf because it's like really wedged in there though. But yeah, I love that book. As far as middle grade fantasy books go, 5 stars. Let me see what else I got. Another reread this year was 1984, which kind of is a cheat because I had previously read it, but this book like changed my whole world perspective and when I read it first in middle school. So I really enjoyed rereading it, and the fact that it's just like so relevant still to this day is insane, given that it was like written in the 1940s, I think, or something like that. 1949. This was written in 1949, or published in 1949, about 1984. You read it today and you're still like, interesting. Interesting. Let's take a look. Oh, you know what? I also finally read Such a Fun Age, which I very much enjoyed. I'd been thinking about reading this since it came out, probably. But yeah, this was really, really solid. It's like, this is the kind of fiction that I like love because it tackles an issue with such nuance, and you really learn something when you read the book, you know? Or you're validated, your experience is validated, or your experience is challenged. Yeah, that's really what I love about fiction, is that your perspective can change so profoundly. Didn't think I was gonna get deep in this video, did ya? What was that, like 5 books, 6 books? You tell me. You tell me. Also, you tell me if you want me to do like my 5 least favorite books of the year. I will say I haven't had any like real sinkers. You know what? Actually, I have. I take that back. I definitely do have some real sinkers that I just like did not like, and I do not understand why they were popular at all. With that being said, that was only like 1 or 2. The other ones that I didn't like, my least favorite, are probably more like 3-star reads, where it was like, it was fine, but it wasn't anything new or interesting, you know what I mean? So you let me know if you want to hear my least favorite books, or I was thinking about doing like crochet videos. All right, here's the stitch. The stitch. I'm thinking about, for my little mini videos, I'm thinking about doing a crochet video, possibly another book video, which least favorite or something like that, or like a reading vlog maybe. And then you let me know if you want to hear a Christmas themed commentary. That could be fun, but I don't have a little mic, and I feel like that is kind of crucial to the commentary genre, so I wouldn't want to disrespect them in any way by entering the Christmas conversation without a mic. So that might be a no-go. You let me know what you want to see, and as long as it is not too labor intensive, I will consider doing it. Yeah, so that's that. Do you ever, it's so weird when you talk on video, you become a whole different person, and weird voices. I just want to take this opportunity to apologize for any weird voices I made throughout this video. It's simply because talking to a camera is very weird to me. And that's that, I think. Yeah. I can do, actually, I'm just gonna stop talking. All right, cool. Bye.